I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Most of this stuff is probably not real. Let me try to get this back on. Alright. Let me load up this. Sorry. It takes me a while to find it. Alright. I have to cancel it out. This don't work. I'm gonna just do the screen capture. I think they do exactly the same thing. Yeah, we just gonna go with the screen capture. Let's take this out real quick. My stuff be doing this, bro. It only happens when I be on my computer. It's all good. Nothing y'all need to worry about. Okay, add source. Then we got it. Yeah, let me just re-edit this size. Maybe a little bigger than that. Alright. You said something about Brock Lesnar. We're gonna see what's going on. Let's get into it. Here we go.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of SmackDown, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including two huge names officially mentioned in the lawsuit. It looks like Brock Lesnar has now just officially killed his WWE career. WWE is now protecting Asuka's safety. Is Jacob Fatu gonna break a Royal Rumble record? CM Punk comments on AJ Lee at the Rumble. A former AEW star appearing at the Rumble tonight. Paige could be returning to WWE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, Jacob Fatu is off the leash. Now, Jacob Fatu is off the leash, which means even more trouble for the SmackDown roster. His showdown with newly arrived Damian Priest was a perfect setup for what looks to be both superstars' next program, with the Samoan Werewolf cutting another explosive promo. Number 2, an electric 8-man tag. The 8-man tag featuring the Motor City Machine Guns teaming with Los Garzas to take on DIY and Pretty Deadly was an action-packed showcase you'd obviously expect. It provided a great build for the Guns title match against DIY at the Rumble and gave the secondary team some TV time. All in all, win-win. Number 3, good build for the Rumble. SmackDown rose to the occasion by building interest for the 2 Royal Rumble matches and the title matches rounding out the PLE. The combination of interviews, matches, angles, and hype videos maintained the build without it dragging the show down.
Imagine going from this to this. Meet Superhuman, the most productive.
Number 4, Mission vs Chelsea feud staying alive. Now we have to give the devil its due, as the promotion has somehow found new ways to inject life into the Mission vs Chelsea Green program. The addition of B-Fab to the mix has helped, and given her TV time, she's made the most of it. While this storyline needs to end soon, kudos to the WWE for finding ways to keep it fresh. Number 5, CM Punk Kevin Owens confrontation. Now is WWE laying the groundwork for a CM Punk versus Kevin Owens feud? Although the WWE seems to have major feuds planned for Punk, the idea of the straight-edge superstar throwing down with a prize fighter already has fans talking after last night's confrontation. Can you also believe that these two never faced off in Ring of Honor? Segments like this show how the WWE's creative team has capitalized on its good reputation for long-term storytelling, because this potential feud can lie dormant for months, then erupt like a volcano when the time is right. And Charlotte Flair hype video. And last night's hype video for Charlotte was cleverly crafted, as it not only prepared fans for the 16-time world champion's return, it dealt with several of the concerns fans have with Flair, that she's greedy and hogs the spotlight. Fans can debate whether Flair is pushed too much, but having Flair address these accusations and admit she's a goal-driven performer who wants it all was very smart. Whether she plays a babyface, a heel, or a tweener, Flair's made it clear that she has nothing to apologize for. That was a good what about the bad is number 1, meaningless win Naomi and Andrade. Naomi vs Liv Morgan and Andrade vs The Miz were 2 of the many entertaining matches on SmackDown. Nevertheless, the win by Naomi and Andrade are kinda meaningless, as both superstars have consistently come up short in singles matches, and it's likely that they'll be doing this again as the weeks progress. And number 2, time to move Carmelo to Raw. Now, was there anything left for Carmelo Hayes to do on SmackDown? Well, hopes for a push have been dead on arrival since 2024, and it's difficult to think of anyone he hasn't lost to on the Blue brand. If WWE has any intention of elevating him, it needs to transfer him to Raw before the Rumble deadline goes into effect. Now, there's nothing downright ugly. While SmackDown's 3-hour format may be too much for some fans, last night's episode didn't waste time and did tell several stories, both for the Rumble and to keep the Blue brand's TV storylines moving. But it is the final call for the Rumble, and who do you guys think is going to win tonight? Let us know in the comments down below. But now let's move on to the news. Now first we looked at two huge WWE names now officially named in the lawsuit. At top of today's news is an amended lawsuit filed by Janelle Grant's legal team regarding her lawsuit against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE that now mentions Brock Lesnar and also mentions producer Michael Hayes, but keep in mind neither individual is being sued. You may recall the lawsuit was placed on hold for several months in 2024 while the federal government investigated Vince McMahon for potential wrongdoing. McMahon eventually settled with the Securities and Exchange Commission without admitting any guilt. This doesn't put aside the fact that McMahon now owes him millions. But Janelle Grant's lawsuit has continued, with a legal team receiving permission to file an amended complaint by 31st January after McMahon settled his SEC case. Without getting bogged down into the many details surrounding the lawsuit, Ms. Grant's attorney is looking to have the case go to court rather than arbitration, as the WWE wants the case to proceed to arbitration, arguing the non-disclosure agreement signed by the parties requires arbitration to settle any arguments. But let's look at the real situation with Lesnar and Hayes, along with Vince McMahon's attorney responding to the amended claim. Now, with Brock Lesnar being mentioned, it could mean that he's just killed his WWE career. Now, the amended complaint is notable because it marks the first time Brock Lesnar is referred to by name, a situation which suggests that Lesnar will never probably be returning to WWE or being erased as long as the lawsuit is ongoing. Wrestling News summed up what the amended complaint means regarding Brock Lesnar. The amended suit now includes new text messages, voicemail transcripts, and other new evidence. That includes Brock Lesnar's name, which has been mentioned multiple times after being listed as a former UFC heavyweight and WWE champion. It includes an allegation that McMahon offered a sexual encounter with Grant to Lesnar as part of contract negotiations. While Lesnar isn't being sued, him being named in the lawsuit makes it very unlikely that TKO Holdings will ever let him wrestle in the company again. The idea being that it sends a bad impression if it allows someone under intense scrutiny to continue working until the matter has been resolved. Hell, even if the matter is resolved, would Brock Lesnar even come back to the WWE? Also, Michael Hayes has been mentioned in the lawsuit. Another bombshell in the lawsuit is producer Michael Hayes being mentioned in the amended lawsuit. According to Newsweek, a review of the amended complaint says, introduces a disturbing claim that McMahon instructed Grant to create pornographic content.
You know the best way to grow on YouTube is by posting consistent, good content. Here's how I accomplished that easily with Spotter Studio.
For Michael Hayes, a longtime WWE creative executive. Grant's attorneys state that in September 2020, McMahon directed her to produce customized explicit material for Hayes and his team. Michael Hayes worked behind the scenes in WWE for several decades and is considered to be one of the best producers and creative minds. Nevertheless, his run in the WWE hasn't been without controversy over alleged inappropriate comments that some have construed as racist and other misbehavior. Now, it's important to note that the amended complaint does not state that Hayes sought out the content sent to him. The situation may be seen as too controversial by management, however, putting Michael Hayes' WWE career at risk. Both sides' attorneys have released statements on the amended complaint, with Janelle Grant's attorney Ann Callis stating, Ms. Grant's amended complaint reveals new details that further demonstrate the sexual abuse that Janelle Grant suffered at the hands of Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, and pulls back the curtain on the dangerous workplace culture McMahon created at WWE. Ms. Grant looks forward to holding her abusers accountable in a court of law. Vince McMahon's attorney Jessica Rosenberg also released a statement to reporter BJ Bethnal, saying, as expected, the proposed amended complaint is nothing more than the latest publicity stunt in an ongoing smear campaign. It is filled with desperate falsehoods from a team that continues to disregard the law and the truth. Next up, WWE protecting Asuka's safety. A WWE superstar Asuka is updating fans about TK Holdings and WWE helping her out to deal what she's implied to be inappropriate behavior directed at her, behavior some fans feel is stalking. Asuka recently tweeted, WWE and TKO are taking action to protect me. I appreciate it. Now, it's very encouraging to hear that this matter isn't being ignored by WWE and TKO, and hopefully it can be resolved immediately. Next up is Jacob Fatu breaking a Royal Rumble record. It's time for a potential spoiler on tonight's Men's Royal Rumble, so skip our next story if you like surprises. There seems to be some intriguing information concerning Jacob Fatu, as Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp is reporting Jacob Fatu is currently favoured to have the most eliminations in the WWE Royal Rumble per Bet Online. Now this record is currently tied with Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar with a number of eliminations of 13, that being in the Greatest Royal Rumble and the 2020 Royal Rumble respectively. And knowing how stacked the Rumble is, unless they put a few jobbers in there, we don't think that Jacob Fatu is going to break that record, unfortunately. But it's definitely something WWE should consider later on in his career. Next up, CM Punk comments on AJ Lee at the Rumble. Now, CM Punk is up to his usual tricks, as he was recently asked whether his wife AJ Lee will appear at the Royal Rumble on the Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee outright asked Punk whether his wife will be in the Rumble, and Punk answered, "Why will my wife be in the Men's Royal Rumble?" Final call, do you think AJ will return tonight? Let us know. Next up, a former AEW star appearing in the Rumble. Could former AEW talent Marie Kanellis appear at the Rumble? Although we haven't heard any rumors to this effect, Kanellis recently revealed on X that her AEW contract has expired, and she also posted a tweet of her being in the Rumble. Cultaholics Andrew Kelly added that when asked in a reply about the possibility of a new deal with AEW, she responded with a simple "no thanks." Now, Marie began a pro wrestling career in the WWE over 20 years ago, but was released in 2010. She subsequently reinvented herself outside of WWE and eventually returned to the promotion from 2017 until 2020 with her husband Mike Kanellis. She's never been afraid to speak her mind about complaints with how she and her husband had been booked, which makes it less likely she'll be welcomed back with open arms in the WWE. Next up, Shane McMahon's son announces he'll be at the Rumble. Now, is Shane McMahon's son Declan competing in the Rumble? Now, while that seems very unlikely, especially in light of how many top superstars have put their bid in to compete, Fightful recently tweeted Shane McMahon's son Declan McMahon says he'll be at the Royal Rumble. Declan currently plays football at the University of Indiana Bloomington, and although he won't compete, expect to see him on TV, likely sitting at ringside with both Kurt Angle and The Undertaker. Next up, Saraya aka Paige could be returning to WWE. Could current AEW star Saraya return to WWE? While she signed a contract extension with AEW, her deal is reportedly over this September. She spoke with TMZ Sports about a WWE return, saying, "I love WWE. I appreciate everybody there. They gave me my career, and I'm just appreciative of that. One day, who knows, but I love my time in AEW." And finally, Cody Rhodes pitches a plan to bring Sheamus' theme back. And last but not least, current WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes is looking to have the WWE bring Sheamus' theme back. Rhodes was at the Royal Rumble kickoff show when he saw a fan sign asking for Sheamus to get his old theme song back, and Cody commented, "I did bring back the Winged Eagle. I don't know if I have the power to do this, but I think we should bring back Sheamus' old theme. Do you think it's time to bring that classic back? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content."
We need that back. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. They said some stuff. I don't know if any of it